Welcome to our solar electric trailer journey. We're so glad you're here with us today. In today's episode, we will be sharing information about our 2,000-mile road trip.
Yeah, we had such a good time. We went to the International Rotary Convention in Houston, Texas. We drove all the way from Jacksonville. Total mileage on the trip, I think, was exactly 1,958 miles, but we'll call that 2,000. Great trip, great trip.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We've prepared a list of 13 things that we have learned on this trip that we want to share with you. Stick around for number 13. When I get to 13, I will share with you what we actually paid for the electricity for this trip. But before I get there, try and guess what you think we paid.
You may find it helpful to visit our newsletter website to see some of this stuff written out. So our newsletter is located at oursolartrailer.com, and we'll put a link to this particular newsletter post in the video, so you can read it there. Our first observation is that the price per kilowatt hour varied dramatically because the charging system charges per minute, and how fast you charge varies by a number of factors. How empty the battery is, how hot the weather is, how much you've already charged during the day, etc., etc. Lots of factors. So every charge had a different per kilowatt hour price. That surprised us.
Number 2, the cheapest price per kilowatt hour was 14 cents. And that's cheaper than what we pay at home. We were thrilled to see that.
Yeah, we pay 15 cents per kilowatt hour at home. Amazing to see a fast charging network charging less than we get at home. Really, really kind of amazing. Number 3, it is really just easy now to find a charger for a road trip. You can go virtually anywhere in the United States now already, and it is not hard to drive an EV and do a road trip.
Yeah. So number 4, we discovered a new app to us called a Better Route Planner, and it was so helpful. Most people call it ABRP, and we loved using it. It was so helpful in the route.
Yeah, big difference it made. Number 5. The biggest exception that we've experienced anywhere to this rule that it's easy to find a charger is New Orleans. And I don't know what's going on in New Orleans, but there really isn't a good available public level 3 charger, 50 kilowatts and above. There just isn't one. Really shocking that such a large city doesn't have one.
Number 6, per minute charging fees encourage you to stop charging when the charging slows down.
Yeah, this is an interesting dynamic, and so number 7 is sort of a lesson that derives from that observation, that fact, and that is it's best to charge both for speed and cost only what you need to get to your next charge when you're on a road trip situation like this. So there was 1 or 2 times when we didn't even charge up to 50%. But that meant the charging time was short and the cost was cheap.
Number 8, Electrify America is the key to driving an EV. They have the biggest network by far across the country.
Yeah, and number 9, kind of again another corollary with number 8 there, is that the Electrify America network has some glitches, and it's a little bit frustrating sometimes. And so we spent at one of our charging stations, we spent 2 hours trying to get a charge. Got customer service on the phone, and they were very helpful. But it is frustrating. I mean, when was the last time you spent 2 hours to get gas? Doesn't happen, and it shouldn't happen when you're charging. But that's the reality. Still, there's room for improvement at Electrify America.
Okay, number 10, mileage after 1,958 miles is 4.0 miles per kilowatt hour. Virtually everything we drove was freeway driving, and it was shockingly good. We were just so happy to see that.
Yeah, I really expected it to be at least 5% worse than that. So that was really great to see, very comforting. Because we had the AC on, and that uses some juice. for the whole trip.
Yeah.
You know, this is summer in the South. So.
Yeah, but it was fine. We did
yeah,
good.
Very pleased with that. Number 11 is it was so fun to connect with other EV drivers. In Houston, at one charge point, we saw 2 electric Taycans, Porsche Taycans, beautiful automobiles. Yeah.
Beautiful.
And then at one stop, we saw a guy with a Rivian, and he even let Gail get in the Rivian.
I got in it, got to touch it, got to sit in it, and I was thrilled. It was spacious inside. It was really fun to be in there.
Yeah, we can't wait to get ours.
Yeah. Number 12. Chevy Bolt caps the mileage log at 1,272 miles. So it just stops calculating at that point. And so it made it a little bit trickier for us to calculate our mileage.
Yeah, it was a weird thing, and it took us a couple of charging stops to figure out why suddenly the math wasn't working on our trip calculations, and then we realized what was going on. Thankfully, I had also been recording the odometer miles, and so we were able to calculate the energy use on each leg and our mileage on each leg, and we'll share all that with you as well. But it was interesting that the Bolt has a little glitch where it doesn't calculate beyond 1,272 miles between full charges.
That was new to us, but we did it okay. We were okay. So here it is, number 13, what you've been waiting for. I sure hope you've got a guess in your head. We spent a total of $116 on the electricity for this whole trip.
Isn't that amazing? It's so incredibly cheap, so incredibly cheap.
And out of all that, we only had 6 kilowatt hours of free charging.
Yeah. So it just really is amazingly affordable to do a road trip in an electric car.
Yeah,
that's the bottom line.
We enjoyed it. We absolutely did have a good time and aren't afraid to go out and do a long road trip again.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us on our journey. We're so glad that you're here today, and we would absolutely love to hear from you.
Yeah, it's so comment on the video or comment on the newsletter. And if you haven't subscribed to the newsletter, here's the little tidbit. Visit oursolartrailer.com, subscribe, and then when you get the newsletters, you can just hit reply, and we get and read and reply to those emails. So we'd love to hear from you, anything you want to share.
Bye.
Thank you.